I'd also like to say a word of thanks to Felix and Vivian, who were the student compares. And I gather they had to do a competition to win the privilege, if that's the right word, of doing the introductions, including, so I read, what happens if the speaker doesn't turn up? What do you say? Obviously, be glad to see me. But I was just reflecting, actually, there are many bad things that can happen to you when you are the person who makes the introductions. But there are also many bad things that can happen to you when you're the speaker. And as anyone who's ever addressed the British House of Commons knows, which is not the most polite audience, I hope you'll be a little more kind to me today. But Bill Clinton, who was one of your previous speakers, he actually had this happen to him when he came to make a State of the Union address just a couple of years before he left office. And he made the State of the Union address on the teleprompters, which show the speech up on a screen right in front of the speaker. Okay. And unfortunately, as he got up to speak, he realized that they put the wrong speech in the teleprompter, and he said it was the worst 30 seconds of his life, as he realized he was supposed to give the State of a Union speech, and actually he was speaking on an obscure point of education policy. But it was just to tell Felix and Vivian this, the worst thing that ever happened to me as a speaker is when I was Prime Minister, I had to go and give a lecture on the presentation of an award, right? But I was really busy that day, really, really busy. And I jumped in the car, we drove to the venue. I hadn't had time to look at the speech, so I turned to my aide who's in the car, and I say, give me the speech. He said, I'm very sorry, Prime Minister, I thought you had the speech. I said, no, I don't have the speech. You've got the speech. He said, no, I don't. I said, well, what's it about? He said, I don't know. Right. So I'm beginning to get a bit anxious here. I'm late, so we draw up to the venue. I walk in, and I think, this is the thing, there's always a sign somewhere at the venue that gives you a little idea. You know? Campus, right? It's something like that, just gives you an idea. I go into the hall. There are no signs. There are lots of people, but no signs. So now I'm panicking. But fortunately, there's somebody who's introducing me. And I think the guy who's introducing me, he's bound to say something about what this lecture's supposed to be about. I only need a little idea to get started. The guy comes to the podium to introduce me. He says, well, ladies and gentlemen, you know me, you know I'm not really very good at public speaking. So without any further words, I give you Tony Blair, the Prime.